is Elene Marsden, and to have the opportunity this evening to share with you about how you can use Google Hangouts for your business is fantastic for me. I've been working with Google Hangouts since the beginning of this year, and the talk is divided up really into 3 parts. I'm going to give you an overview of Google Hangouts. Then I'm going to look at why you should consider Google Hangouts in your business. And then the last little bit is going to be Google Hangouts 101, where I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to run your own Hangouts. So that's my intention. Let's just start a couple of years back and tell you a little story about how I got to find out about Google Hangouts. I was in Los Angeles. I was on a Facebook marketing course up in the Hollywood Hills. I had no idea it was going to take me to this place where you can see in the distance downtown LA. What a great course that was. I met some fantastic people, and one particular girl that I met, we keep in touch, and about this time last year she said to me, Google Hangouts are coming. This is what you need to be considering. They're going to be huge. And, I respected her views and thought, well, let's just take a little look, and the rest is history, because come January 2014, I'd set up a business called Hangouts4Business. And I'm going to sort of tell you a little bit about the history, if you like, of when they started. They're not really that old. Google, in May 2013, created this product that involves video chat and instant messaging. Now, the thing that we're going to focus on is the video chat. The instant messaging is also a very cool tool as well, but the thing that we're focusing on in this talk is the video aspect of it. So, who's using Google Hangouts? Well, the next few slides will give you an idea of the scope and the range. Let's take this one. This is a screenshot of a Google Hangout with Barrack Obama. He did a State of the Nation address to the public through a Google Hangout, and the little screenshots you can see at the bottom, those are the people that were invited to come into the Hangout to ask him questions. So there he is, live from the White House, with people asking President Obama questions. Just think how powerful that is for his marketing. This one here. Here we've got the International Space Station. Weightless, floating in space, doing a live Google Hangout. And there's more local, this one. I was really delighted about 4 weeks ago, I think it was, when somebody told me that Ipswich Town Football Club were running their first live Google Hangout from Portman Road. Now, I don't know if you know those characters. Tommy Smith, I think, and the marketing manager, and the little images at the bottom there are fans who were invited to come into the Hangout and ask their captain, I think he's the captain, might be wrong there, questions about Ipswich Town and where it was going. So that was delightful for me to see how, a local football team are using Google Hangouts. And apparently this facility is available for all the football teams up and down the country. So maybe your favourite football team has its own Hangout too. And then again, it was a very, very busy summer, because live from Buckingham Palace, we've got the Princes Harry and William conducting a live hangout to tell the public about their new charity, which involved the Commonwealth and young people around the Commonwealth. And you can't really see, but there's 4 pictures of the people that were invited into the hangout to ask questions. So it's pretty good. And there's a few more to come. This one here, the Honourable Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu. What a crazy combination. Can you imagine those two on a hangout? But they did. They met, and this is just taken from YouTube, so you can see quite a number of people have watched and liked and shared that video. If you are into networking, and I know a number of you are, the founder of a networking group that I'm part of called BNI, Dr. Ivan Meisner, He does regular live, I'm not sure if it's monthly, Google Hangout shows. So hopefully that has given you a flavour of who's using them. I've got a few more examples later on in the talk where we'll take a look at other people who more locally are using them, and you can get an idea of, and hopefully that will start you thinking about how you can do it for your own businesses, because the applications are endless. Okay, so let's say you decide that you would really like to have your own Hangout. You'd like to have a Hangout on air. Where could people watch that Hangout? Well, they can obviously watch it on YouTube, because that's the natural home of a Google Hangout, a YouTube channel. But you can also put the Hangout, the live Hangout that's being broadcast, onto your website. Now, I'm not going to get technical, so don't worry. I know there are technical people in the room, but there's an iframe code that you can drop onto the website that enables you to view that Hangout from your web page, or you can use a Google YouTube link. But that's one place that you can watch. Apologies for some of the problems with the words. It looked perfect on my Acer laptop. Never mind. Anyway, so the second place that you can actually watch a Google Hangout is on Facebook. And not many people understand or realise that you can stream it live to Facebook. But if you were to go and have a look at my Facebook page, Hangouts4Business, I've got an app there, and on that app page you'll see a widget which enables me to stream my live Google Hangout. And the good thing about putting it on Facebook, if that's where your fans, if that's where most of the people that you interact with hang out, then you want to be, perhaps considering using this, because it comes with comments. You can add comments at the bottom of the Hangout so people can ask you questions while it's live, and they can feel like they're part of it. So that's the second place that you can watch a Hangout. The third place that you can watch a Google Hangout live is from a Google event page. And I am going to focus on the Google event pages as we get deeper into the talk, because if you set up your Hangout from a Google event, you've got so many more options available to you. So that's just a screenshot of that there, and I'll show you a little bit more detail about that as we go along. Okay, so that hopefully has given you a little bit of an overview of Google Hangouts. I haven't gone into the detail yet, but you've got a good overview of what's involved. This next part is why you should consider them for your businesses. And I'm sure there are lots of different businesses in the room, and I think that there could be an application for each and every one of your businesses using Google Hangouts. But when we come to the very end, when you can ask questions and we can talk about it in more detail then. But why? Why Google Hangouts? Let's look at some of these options here. Brand awareness. You really want to get your brand out there, whether it's using adverts or e-marketing, or just being present on social media sites. But with a Hangout, again, people really can get to know the authentic business. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about why I believe it cuts through all the fog of social media or Google Hangout. We'll take a look at that and why that is later. But your brand awareness, that's one thing. Sales is another. Now, if you remember back to that slide where I showed Ipswich Town Football Club, on the right-hand side, that slide showed what we call a showcase app. And the showcase app enables you to sell products inside a Hangout. So if you think you've got products to shift, whether it's books or whether it's courses or physical products or services, you could use what we call the showcase app to sell from inside a Hangout. So it's definitely good for sales. Sharing ideas is another good reason why you should consider Google Hangouts. Now, I'm actually on a Squared online digital marketing course right now. That's why I've got the little logo at the bottom of the slides. And it's a fantastic 6-month course where you get to learn all kinds of different things about digital marketing. And they put you into teams of about 8 people. And these are people who are around the world. You know, there's no geographical restrictions here. And my team, Team 19, on the digital marketing course, we've met virtually using Google Hangouts to share ideas, because they drop you in at the deep end and they tell you to come up with a new business and to promote it. And I don't know where we would have been without the facility to use a Google Hangout every week to share our ideas and to get things clear. So if you've got a team of people that are scattered around the place, then you can come together using a Hangout. Education, teaching, training, perfect. You know, you can do it and broadcast the Hangout to the whole of the public, or you can restrict it, like have a membership site where, you know, people have to pay you money to come into the Hangout to hear the information that you're sharing, because it's not public, it's a private group. So that's an option for you. And the one right at the very top right, the reduced travel costs. Now, I'll tell you a story. Somebody mentioned to me about Peter Jones from the Dragon's Den. Apparently he's got a team of about 10, 15 people, salespeople that are on the road. And in a year, his travel costs, to get the guys together, to meet in hotels, £20,000 as a rough estimate. He's got rid of those costs now. Those guys meet using Google Hangout technology. They don't have to travel anywhere. They just set up a meeting, and it's all sorted for them. And it's free. Google Hangouts, the technology is free. It doesn't cost anything. The knowledge, how you work with them, having them as part of your marketing plan is something a bit different, of course. Okay. Right, so why? I said we would look at why Google Hangouts. Why? What's it all about? And I'm going to talk to you about each of these words individually. First of all, a Hangout is live. It should be live. Yes, you can watch the recording a week, a month, 6 months down the line, a year down the line. But the power of it is when it's live. You know, you start the broadcast. It's a bit like going on air. 3, 2, 1, we're on air. That's how it works. So it's live, you know. And because of the fact it's live, things can sometimes go wrong. But, you know, in life, when things go wrong, it's how you deal with that. So, you know, if there are little hiccups, then we get on with those. We don't worry unduly about that. Interactive is something else that's really important. Now, this isn't very interactive right now. I'm just telling you lots of information, hopefully, and there'll be some interaction at the end. But with a Hangout, you can plan it so that people can ask questions from the beginning, can jump in and check, or people can ask questions in Facebook comments or Google comments, so that they can be, you know, feel part of it. And, you know, when somebody asks you a question in a Hangout, if you mention that person by name, then they feel very, very, you know, much that the whole thing is that they're part of it. It's not, they're not an observer, that they're, you know, it's something that's, that they're part of, if you like. And authentic. What do I mean by authentic? Well, it's warts and all, really. You know, if suddenly, you know, the sound goes and you're in the middle of a live Hangout, how do you deal with it? Well, you hope that it's going to come back and you get on with it. But, you know, it may be that, you know, you have to kind of work on just kind of letting the true you come out, if you like. And, you know, if you've got a message, whatever that message might be, you and your message will get out there and will stay out there in the future. Because once you've done the Hangout, it's not over and done with. It can continue to keep on giving, if you like, the Hangout that keeps on giving. I'm sure that's an advert. Anyway, now then, over the last 8 months or so, I've been running my own Google Hangout show, partly to make sure I know how the technology works, to make sure, you know, I've ironed out any hiccups as much as possible. And so over those 8 to 9 months, I've had lots and lots of people appear on my show. So this gives you an idea of the kind of people that might, you know, be guests on shows. I've had coaches, business coaches, influencers. Actually, one of the ladies is a voice coach. She was great. I've had sales trainers, solicitors, public speakers as well. So, as I said to you before, there's not one business that I think wouldn't necessarily suit a whole Google Hangout show. So, unless you prove me wrong. You might prove me wrong later. So again, why? Why do we want to use Google Hangouts? So I've mentioned the authenticity of promoting you and your message, but the other thing that's quite key is we are aiming to get people onto the first page in Google search, because once you've had the Hangout and it's streamed all the way to YouTube and it stays on YouTube forever and a day, you can put all your keywords and your descriptions on there, your hyperlinks to web pages or sales pages, and you know, when people are searching for what it is that you do, then hopefully that video will come up high. If not on the first page, it's going to come up high.
Can I just ask?
Yes, certainly.
Do a live hangout and from wherever it's streamed from.
Yes.
And I'm guessing similarly to YouTube, you get the code and it's a video type thing.
Yeah.
Can you edit that hangout as a public version?
Now that is a really good question. Can you edit the Hangout? Inside YouTube, you can edit the videos. You can chop bits off the beginning and off the end. But it's quite crude, the YouTube editor tool. So if you really wanted to tweak it, customize it, then you'd have to download it, then change it, and then upload it. And that's a good question, because for a little while I was under the impression, I'm not sure where this came from, that live streamed YouTube videos would appear higher in search engines than ones that have just been added. But I'm not sure that's true now. So, but you know, I'd be interested in other people's views, so we can talk about that later. Thank you. Okay, so what would you get? What would you take away if you had a Hangout? Well, you're going to get the live video, you get that. You know, you wouldn't just think, well, I'll just set up a Hangout and be done with it and hope people show up, because you would need to spend time and effort with the pre and the post-show promotion. There's a lot to be said for making sure people know the time of it, when it is, how to access it, all of that good stuff. And then I've actually put up here, which takes your point. What you can do with a Google Hangout is you can download it. If you've got video editing software, then you can take out the nuggets from that Hangout, because sometimes Hangouts can be 30, 60 minutes long, 2 hours long. And you know, there may be too much time for people to watch, possibly. It depends. If it's something they're fascinated by, they'll watch the whole thing. But what you can do is you can pull out 60-second snippets that could be used for marketing, to really kind of grab people's attention, and if the right people see it, then they'll go and watch the whole thing. So that's what you can do. Yeah, and you get a permanent YouTube video full of links, full of great links, and keywords which drive traffic to your website or wherever it is you need them to go. So, if you want to run your own Google Hangout, let's say you want to go tomorrow and try this technology out, which is free. What do you need for a successful Hangout? Okay, this is the list. You need good broadband. Now, if you're in the countryside, that may be a little bit of a problem. So, good broadband. And ideally, not Wi-Fi. You really, ideally, need to be plugged into the internet for the best connectivity. You know, I've seen people on Hangouts before now, they've used Wi-Fi, and often what happens is the video goes first. You can hear them, but their video connectivity goes. So ideally, you've plugged into the internet. You need a Google Plus account. I'm sure you've all got one of those, but that's what you need. And for the best Google Hangouts, you need to be using Chrome. I think you can use it on Firefox, but I would say Chrome, because then you can have all the options available to you with that. A headset is the other thing you need, because if you don't have a headset or earbuds, something very simple, often you'll get feedback and it will be really distracting. So recommend a headset and a webcam. Now with a webcam, it doesn't have to be particularly expensive. These are the ones I'm recommending. The Logitech C90. They are currently selling, I checked today, currently selling on Amazon for £45. But they're really great high definition webcams that you can just plug into your computer and they work really well. And you get some software as well so that you can, in actual fact, if you want, and this is really good for me, you can smooth out the image. There's all different. There's the original settings or the smooth. I love the smooth setting. I tell you, that is particularly if you've got bright light shining on you. Anyway, so we've covered the first section. So the first section was the overview of Google Hangouts. The second section was why you should consider using a Google Hangout for your business. And now I'm going to go into the 101, the nitty-gritty. So I've said what you need, the equipment you need, and now I'm going to talk to you about how to set things up and what to do. That, by the way, is my studio office. It's got a great backdrop, which is just a piece of material, and flowers really make a difference. Don't always have flowers, but yeah, it's a little extra touch there. Okay, so this section is going to be divided up into 3 parts as well. The pre-hangout, the hangout, and the post-hangout. Okay, what we're going to do at each of those stages. So first of all, pre-hangout. Now, ideally, you're not just thinking or just experiment with Google Hangouts, although you might want to initially, but it should be part of your marketing plan. Just with anything, really. If you're going to be doing anything in business, have a plan, work out what you need to get from it, what the outcomes are going to be, and it may be that you've got a plan that covers the year and you can be scheduling regular Hangouts in that time. Let's imagine you're going to be a guest on my show, and I know Sam here today, she's going to be a guest on my show in November. So what I would get from Sam, and we've already had lunch to discuss this, I don't always meet for lunch over a pizza, but this is what we did. We get the copy and the images that are going to be important for the promotion. Get all of those together and then send out e-shots to tell people that it's happening. And e-shots are fantastic. They always work, and I'm so delighted in the audience today somebody has come to this event as a result of one of my e-shots. It wasn't about a hangout, it was about this talk. So I'm really pleased with that. That always works, the e-shots, sending e-shots. And then we're going to set up the hangout on air. You can do it from YouTube, or you can do it from your Google Plus profile or page. So it gets a bit complicated. I, for a long while, in the early few months, always did it from YouTube. And just, went to my YouTube channel, create a live event, put in the time of when the hangout was going to be, and then when I was ready, I'd go to YouTube and start the broadcast, or start the hangout, I should say. But now, these days, I'm using Google Plus to do it. And I do it from my profile, because my profile is connected to my YouTube channel. Some people might do it from their page, and their page is connected to their YouTube channel. But that's the way I do it from my profile. So, let's have a look. And this is a shot of actually a part of the Google Plus event, if you like. And I said to you before, the reason why I do it from Google is you've got so many more facilities there. You can see who's accepted the invite. We've already set it up yesterday. I've already got 10 people want to come along. A couple of people have said maybe. This is very much like Facebook events as well. It's a similar kind of thing. But this is all on Google. And inside that event, you can also see on the left-hand side the links, the marketing links. So the top link shows you the hyperlink to the event. The one underneath is the hyperlink to where it's going to appear on YouTube. And the other one is that iframe, that embedded code that you can put on your website. Okay? And that's all visible inside that Google event. And so that's the event page. You've got the banner across the top, set up and hosted by me. That is showing you where, when it goes live, that will be the actual live Hangout. And it'll count down and say how many days to the Hangout, etc. That's the start button. You can even do clever things like have a trailer. So if you've got somebody coming up, very famous person perhaps, and you really want to get a trailer, do the added extra step, you can do that, and that trailer will run in that video window there. The other thing, you probably can't see it very clearly, but there's 3 little apps near the word trailer. You've got the Q&A app, where people can ask questions. The one next to it is the Showcase app. Now remember I said you can sell products on Google Hangouts. You have to activate the Showcase app before it goes live. You can't do it afterwards, once you're in the middle of it, and then suddenly think, oh, I want to sell something. You have to think about it carefully and set it up at the beginning. And then there's a new one there, a little applause app, which I think, I've never used that. It'd be quite annoying, people clapping in the middle of the Hangouts. So this is why I'm saying to you, Google profile, set up an event, or set up a Hangout through an event, and then you'll have the full functionality. Everything will then be available for you. Okay. And then we've got to start promoting it. So this is some of the marketing in preparation for SAMS. Hangout with me on the 6th of November at 4 o'clock. We're going to be talking about blogging, and that's the, if you like, the advert that hopefully you'll start to see in various different places, like on Facebook, Stuff at Business Stars, I put that on there today, and all the other channels that I use. Okay? Start promoting. Once you've decided, you've set up the Hangout using the Google event, you promote everywhere you can. Send out e-shots. I'm going to skip these ones. You've got to have a database. I use ACT for my database, but I don't want to focus too much on that. Talk to me afterwards about databases and marketing, email marketing. Right, so there we are. Now then, we've done all the marketing and loads of people are going to show up. They've all said they want to come along and watch it, and you're really happy. So it's the show, it's the actual event, it's the Hangout. So I normally, on the day, like to set the Hangout, start it out a couple of hours before, just to make sure everything's going according to plan. I'm going to test the sound, I'm going to test this video. Now, it says the lower thirds and custom overlays. I'll show you another couple of slides what that means, because at the moment you probably don't know. So we will make sure that the lower thirds are working. And if I'm working with a client, they're in their office, I'm in my office, I'll get them Hangout ready, if you like. I'll make sure their setup is perfect. I don't know if any of you know somebody called Anne Hawkins from the Inspired group. She's based in Cambridge, and she has her own Hangout show, and I get her guests. She's got some very prestigious guests appearing on her show. I get them Hangout ready. just to make sure everything's set up. So these are the kind of things I will do to help them. So then, let's say I then copy the custom URL, which I send out to people who are coming inside the Hangout. Not the people who are watching it, the people who are coming in. And it might be that, you know, when Sam and I have our Hangout, it's just the two of us. I'll just send her the link. But, you know, if we decide we want to invite other people in, I would send those other people the link as well. And I'd put that YouTube link on my website, I'd put the embed code on Facebook, and then I would relax and chat with my guests in the green room. And, you know, you want to relax people because sometimes people feel a bit nervous, even though it's nothing to worry about. It's just the whole thing about when you're starting the broadcast, 3, 2, 1, right, we're going live, we're on air. It can be a little bit, can make people feel a little bit anxious. Anyway, so that's what we do. And this is giving you an idea of what the app looks like from the inside. If you have to try and imagine now. So what you're seeing there inside the Hangout, so I've kind of launched it. We're not live yet, we've launched it. And on the left hand side you can see there are lots of tools. Lots of tools there. Tools like comments, you can have comments. And what that means is, let's say, remember Barrack Obama and all the people from around America, they could have been chatting inside the Hangout. If you click the little blue comment thing at the top, on the right hand side there'll be this like chat box and people can talk inside the Hangout. And I've attended quite a number of Hangouts, particularly people in America, and it's so much fun, all the interaction that happens inside the Hangout. You know, the general public don't see all of this, but there's a lot going on there. The little green arrow enables you to share your screen. It might be that you've got something on your computer and you really want to share it. Perhaps you've got, I don't know, an Excel spreadsheet. Oh, I don't know, you might have anything. A diagram of some kind, something you want to share. So yes, you can share your screen. You can also, for one of those apps, add the lower thirds. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. Yeah. Right, yeah, so this is me recording myself, helping people to understand how Google Hangouts work. So it's a bit of a strange image there. So lower thirds. This is so that you can brand yourself inside the Hangout. So the lower third is you put your name, you can put your company there, a logo image, and all the people that are inside the Hangout with you can have that as well, with their own details showing. And that's how you set it up, by using what we call the Hangout toolbox. And when you first try and run a Hangout, it'll say, do you want to install Chrome extensions? And that gives you this Hangout toolbox, and you'll have it then as part of it. So you can add your lower third, pop it on, change the colour, include a logo. And lower down you can see it says custom overlay. Now what I'm going to recommend you do before you go live, make sure you've got a custom overlay, a picture as like something to hold onto the cover the screen, because there's nothing worse, and it's happened to me a couple of times where I haven't realised that someone else is watching, and I'm getting ready and, you know, looking all puzzled as I try and find things out, and, you know, people can see you. So always have like a covering image to hold the space until you're ready. Then you can remove that custom overlay, and then you're fine. Another marketing opportunity, of course. You know, you can put something on there that's useful. Okay, so we're inside the Hangout. At the top, you know, you can do things like mute people, end the Hangout, check all the settings to make sure your broadband is as good as it can be. All kinds of things at the top there. I've already mentioned the things on the left-hand side. In the bottom strip, that's where all the people who've jumped in will appear. At the moment, I've just got one person there who joined me for that particular training hangout there. And that's live. You can see stop broadcast. That's obviously live at that time. It's usually green, ready to go when you're ready to start and launch it. Okay, so we've done the pre-show, we've done the hangout itself, and you've seen inside the app, hopefully. You've had a good look at what it's like inside the app. And I mentioned about relaxing in the green room. I thought I'd put this picture up. I found it. It's not a green room. It's Jonathan Ross's blue room. And I thought afterwards, do you think people eat that fruit? I doubt it. I doubt that very much. So there we go. But there's a lot to be said for that green room experience. It's fantastic. It's you can pick up so much information in preparation for the show. Right, so we've done what to do before, what to do when the show goes live, and you've looked inside the app. And now we're going to look at post Hangout, because it doesn't end there really. The Hangout is streamed, it's on YouTube, but to get the best from it, you need to make sure that that video is optimised. There's lots of things you can do. You want to make sure that the description is rich with keywords, the title, and there's plenty of opportunity to put in keywords. They suggest keywords for you. You can add your own, and you can share it as well from YouTube. And another opportunity to tell people that you've had this hangout. But in a way, that's probably a whole set of slides to go into all the details of how to optimise a YouTube video. There's plenty of information out there of what works, what's good. Great. Okay, so I thought I would not end, I haven't quite finished yet, but talk about more Hangout examples. Now, this somebody shared this with me on Facebook just a couple of days ago. Hillary's blinds. So, you wouldn't think that a blind shop might be, up there planning their own Google Hangouts, but yeah, they had this last month. That lady there, I think she's the product designer, and she was having a hangout with Emma Morton, who's editor for Essentials. And that was the advert that was on Facebook. And this is a screenshot of the hangout on YouTube. Hasn't had a huge number of views yet, but you can see they've got the title there, hashtag Hangout with Hillary's. That's obviously what they're using for all of their hangout shows. And you can see they're just having a conversation together. So it doesn't have to be one person in one office, one person in another office. It could be that people are side by side in the same room. And the next one is me, side by side in the same room. This was a great hangout that I had with somebody from QVC. QVC, the QVC shopping channel. That, I don't know if anyone would confess to having watched that. Unfortunately, a friend of mine took me to the QVC channel, place in London, and showed me how they run how they kind of broadcast, how they sell products. Introduced me to Anne. I've now got the QVC app on my phone. I'm so embarrassed to say it. I bought a couple of things. But she is a great saleswoman. She's been working for QVC for 20 years. What she doesn't know about how to sell a product. And it's about telling stories. And it's about saying, this is just so fantastic, you've really got to get it. Anyway, so we had a hangout together, and she told me all about, how she worked with QVC and her career, etc., and a couple of tips on there. So if you get a chance, you can go and rewatch that and see what you think, because they've got a lot to teach us about running Google Hangouts, because they've been doing it for years, very professionally, and They've got a bigger camera than we have, than I have anyway. That was early in the morning. I think we had to get there. We had to be there for 8 o'clock and get all the set up, ready to go live and broadcast.
That one probably doesn't have a smooth mode.
No, it didn't. Those lights were far too bright then.
What are you trying to say, mate?
But, you know, fantastic. Let's have a look at this. Check out chefhangout.com. These people, the website there, you can go and book cooking lessons with these chefs. They'll obviously tell you what the ingredients are you've got to get. You're in your own kitchen along with 9 other people preparing the stuff side by side as the chef does his thing and tells you what to do. You wouldn't think that would work, but you know, it's very, very successful. Very successful. And you know, everyone's all into cooking these days, so those guys are all in their own kitchens with their webcam, preparing everything as the main chef is showing them what to do, telling them what to do. £225 for 10 lessons, and you don't have to leave your house. Yeah, another show that I had just recently, well that was in, when was it, July. This was great fun. I had this American jazz singer who was coming to Ipswich to actually sing at the Rep in Ipswich, and her promoter was really keen to get as much promotion, as much marketing for her as possible. And so what happened was she actually came onto my show and was singing Fly Me to the Moon, you know, on the Hangout. It was, what a great voice she had. It was so much fun. Yeah, so that was interesting. So really now, to sum up, this is really what I can offer, but I do Hangout training. One of you said you might be interested in being a guest on my Hangout show. You might be interested in having your own shows, and you might want them moderated or produced. Get in touch with me, I'd be happy to help you with that. But if nothing else, join in and come and listen to our live show. The first one's starting up again because we've had a bit of a break in September and October. Our first one's going to be with Sam on the 6th of November. So I do hope you'll join me with that. Now, I've got a gift for you all today, and it's this. If you get in touch with me, you will get the 30-minute Hangout training video. You've seen extracts of it. I'll let you have that. My 25 tips for running a successful Hangout PDF. Sorry about the fact that's all over the place. But the best thing that I will offer for 9 people, the opportunity to be a guest on a live Hangout. Be one of those 9 people at the bottom. And it's going to be on the 20th of November, 4 o'clock. And I will help you with getting everything set up the hour before. So it's going to be, I'll be available in the green room from about 3 o'clock, where we can kind of, you know, chat and, you know, get to know the technology from the inside. And then we'll go live at 4 o'clock. And you'll have access to that video. And what I'll probably do, because I've done this before, is give those 9 people the opportunity to do like a 60-second pitch, where you can tell us what you do, who you help, what you do for other people, and then, you know, you'll have access to that. You can download the video and take that bit out that you've done if you wish. So that's going to be for 9 people. You can only have 9, so it'll be the first 9 people who get in touch with me. But I really hope that you'll grab that opportunity, because it would be like a good way to test the technology fairly effortlessly. So thank you very much for listening. Please come and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Elene Marsden. I am 2 subscribers short of 200. Thanks very much for listening, and please, if you have got any questions about Google Hangouts, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Always happy as well to help with any training that you might need, or if you want me to produce one of your shows. Thanks again. Bye for now.